This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance at nhliberty.org, fighting to keep the free state free. Mixed feelings. That's what I have after reading about Ron Paul's recent endorsement of Chuck Baldwin for president. This occurred just hours ago. Baldwin is the Constitution Party's candidate. Now, you can't dislike a guy too much who wants to get rid of the Federal Reserve and the IRS. If you look at his website, the words New World Order appear on his front page for his campaign. And I guess in a sense that makes him more radical than me. But Free Stater Mike Ruff has a saying, people tend to hold you responsible for the actions of your allies and the people you endorse. Baldwin isn't likely to take very many important actions, but he will take important positions. Some will be pro-liberty and some won't. My biggest question would be, if he's in this thing called the Constitution Party, will he take positions that violate the Constitution? If he's going to try to run for an office that requires taking a constitutional oath, well then, is he taking positions that violate the Constitution? I'm not a constitutionalist, I'm an anti-federalist, but the hypocrisy issue is always one to look for. Look for any support of any federal program that's not authorized by the Constitution, and if he supports it, and it's pretty clear that it's not authorized by the Constitution, that makes him a hypocrite. I read an October 2000 article by him today where he calls for changing the drug war so that basically we focus on closing the borders. Well, it strikes me as possibly being constitutional to do border enforcement type stuff. I'm not sure that's constitutional, but some people would interpret it as being such. It's certainly better than this sort of war on civil liberties that we have, and he has certainly denounced the war on civil liberties that has come along with the war on drugs. Looking over all his issues, I didn't find too much to denounce as anti-constitutional. Although, of course, I find some things I disagree with because I disagree with the Constitution. That, of course, is the document that gave the federal government way too much power. Some other interesting positions he has. He opposes the Iraq War. He favors reinstitutioning a non-interventionist foreign policy. That's good. But he would ban foreign ownership of U.S. roads. I'm not sure that's constitutional. His site has no search function that I was able to find, so it's a little bit hard to keyword search his positions on things. His vice presidential candidate, Mr. Castle, wrote an article about the recent Fannie Mae Freddie Mac bailout. The article was wishy-washy. Castle's essay didn't even speak out against the bailout necessarily. It did call for an elimination, of course, of the Federal Reserve and the income tax. That's good. His solution, of course, to the problem, though, it said, was to elect wise leaders, which I think is pretty naive. I'd consider voting for Baldwin because an end to the Federal Reserve and an end to the IRS would have a positive impact on the bad things that federal officials do. But I did promise I would write in Dr. Paul, so I might have to obtain a release from my promise from Dr. Paul or someone speaking for him, and that's probably not practical. Anyway, the Baldwin website is baldwin08.com. Maybe I could endorse him even if I'm not going to be free to vote for him. So there'll be a learning process that will go on over the next few weeks, I guess. This is Dave Ridley signing out just hours after the Baldwin endorsement by Ron Paul. This September 23rd, 2008. From Manchester, New Hampshire. Manic hub of liberty activity in the Free State.
You know how I'm always talking about the fact that if you go to the State House and you swing your fist, you hit a member of the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance. Well, I've never actually showed you any video of the way the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is able to just pack the State House full of liberty activists. Take a look at this. On this day, we had about 30 activists, I think, to fight for more freedom in New Hampshire and prevent the State House from passing bad bills. There have been times where we've had more like 50. Here they are meeting with the governor the same day. And they've had quite a bit of legislative success, too. That's why I'm a member of the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance, and hope you will be, too. Find out more at nhliberty.org. nhliberty.org.